Hello squad. So as you guys know, I like to get into the outdoors. I like to go fishing, hunting, and orienteering, and I like to private as much as possible. Hunt it, kill it, eat it, pull it out of the ground, catch it from in the water, or catch it on land. It's practical to know some primal skills. Traps and snares are a really good primal skills to know. And as far as trap goes, or snare, the most effective one that I have used is a Figure-4 Deadfall. So I set an example right here. Now, the hardest thing about a Figure-4 Deadfall is finding the appropriate stone. So in lieu of a stone, I'm using a plate here, a 15-pound weightlifting plate. But you want to find a really good flat stone that's almost square in nature, so it's flat on the bottom part where it meets the ground. This is an extremely effective trap for small game like rabbits, ground squirrels, such like that. And if you have an area where there are lines of drift where they're feeding, you set it up in that area and you bait the hook with whatever. It's all they have to do is brush against it and it's gonna fall. I mean, it is literally a hair trigger. Figure-4 Deadfall has 4 components. You have a base right here. You have a trigger, or I mean a hinge. This is the hinge piece, and this is the trigger. And it is extremely sensitive. I could almost blow on this thing and it'll go down. But the trigger, anything that brushes up against it or sniffs it, it's gonna fall, and it's going to, if not immediately crush your prey, it's going to trap it there so you could stomp on it and kill it the rest of the way. Now, when I build a Figure-4 Deadfall, a couple things that I like to do is I make sure the angles are right. So for instance, base and hinge, I make sure that the angles are very correct on this. And so I take extra time in whittling these so that they are nice and square and super sharp. With the bait, with the trigger stick and the base stick, these have to be pretty much square. So what I do here is I whittle the sides of these too. So if you were to watch a YouTube video, they probably don't tell you to whittle these sides down so that they're more square. I did it on the trigger stick as well. Just kind of whittle them so they're square so that it fits better here. And then what you have to do, setting it up is probably the hardest part, because you have to set this first. You have to set your snare, and then you have to put weight on it and hold that weight as you lift your stone. It's almost better to do it with 2 people, but because it is very hairy. And that's not going to work right there, but you catch my drift. But it's a great little snare to know, and it's a fun project, just a fun whittling project for you and your kiddies, because there's a lot of little intricacies to this, and it is super hairy. Come on, baby, work for me. Oops. Try that one more time. Like I said, this is the hardest part right here, is actually setting it. You can see I've done a bunch of these and I'm still struggling just to set it. But once it's set, and with the round bottom of the plate, it's going to kind of roll around a little bit. But you can see how it's set there, and all the weight is on the hinge stick, and that's keeping the whole thing together. And it's just a hair trigger, boop, and the whole thing falls. Neat little project to do with you and your kids, or just you yourself, and it's extremely effective. It is the most effective trap that I have used in the outdoors. So rock and roll, get your whittle on.